ptvsports.com. No one scored more runs than Babar Azam in the World Cup Super League, the only player actually to have scored over 1,000 runs in this competition, and also most hundreds, 6. In total, at the start of the innings, 1,083 runs in the World Cup Super League at an average just 83.3, almost Bradman-esque, you would say, and a strike rate of almost 102.
Yeah, top class. One of the best on the circuit. And does it with ease, and does it with a smile on his face.
Vikram Singh coming in off the mid-wicket boundary. Work at long leg to keep the batsman down to just single. That's the 50 partnership.
Yeah, quietly going about their business. 50 off 60. Pak Vs Netherlands has been the main contributor. A bit more aggressive. Babar just getting into his groove. 15 from 27. Lovely. Lovely timing, but excellent. Max O'Dowd again, who's been busy at backward point, but that came off the bat like a tracer bullet. Top order have always been pretty dominant for Pakistan. It's that middle order, I reckon, that fans back home in Pakistan will be keeping an eye on. Rizwan, Agha and Kushtil Shah. Shadab Khan's a good all-rounder. They need to put some runs on the board.
End of the over, as Michael Goff says. That will be drinks. 16 gone then, and Pakistan winning the toss, batting 60 for 1.
Let me tell you about cricket.
Live and exclusive on Willow. Presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
Netherlands have been impressive with the ball. Pretty dry surface. Not a great deal in it for the quicks. Netherlands captain Scott Edwards will be happy with how his bowlers gone about their work. Being tidy with a good line and length. Viv Kingma up top and Aryan Dutt with the new ball I thought were excellent. Just the one wicket to fall Imam Al-Haq, the left-hander. LBW to Viv Kingma. A lovely bit of in-swing bowling by Viv Kingma, who bowled a good line of length. This is the setup. Viv Kingma, who was excellent in and around that good length area. Just keep an eye out for the shape. A little bit of shape back in. Imam Al-Haq just falling over ever so slightly. And a brilliant review. Viv Kingma absolutely chuffed the bits.
And a bit full of that delivery as well. Here are the bowlers used thus far, 5 of them. Viv Kingma, successful bowler. Deleda, very impressive in that 1 over he's sent down so far. Aryan Dutt opening the bowling to the 2 left-handers, and that was good. Bit of fortune for Fakhar Zaman early on against Aryan Dutt. But he is starting to look in ominous touch as far as the Dutch are concerned now.
6 boundaries in the power play for Pakistan, none's in. So although the runs have come fairly fluently, I think Netherlands have done a good job to limit the boundaries outside that power play. But Fakhar Zaman's last 20 runs have been pretty fluent. Generally wanting width, trying to crash the ball through the offside.
Aryan Dutt at 3rd man in front of our commentary box, and a good bit of work from him, moving to his wrong side to keep the batsman down to a single.
Hands on deck here. Cameraman Benji down here at 3rd. Excellent work. They'll be busy all day. Gives us a thumbs up. Good effort, mate. Keep up the hard work. Not easy in these hot and sultry conditions.
Looking forward to him being quite athletic as well, actually, during the day, because if any 6s come this way, he's going to have to leap up and catch them. A little bit of a problem here, it appears, for Fakhar Zaman. He's got a problem with his elbow or his bicep. Just wonder whether it might be a wasp sting, maybe. Yeah, it's a wasp sting. A wasp has buzzed in. Just made its presence felt. It's that time of the year here in Europe where wasps are all over the place. So hopefully the sting isn't still in his arm. If it is, it'll have to be removed.
There she is, there she is. Little wasp under that left elbow. You can just see it, just buzzing around. Brilliant cam work again. Can be very uncomfortable. Just have a look here. Left elbow. There she is. There it is. Big one too. Did you see it?
I did, and I've got to say, I'm no big fan of wasps. Some people react quite badly to stings, actually.
Well, there used to be a cricketer from Pakistan, Wachidilla Wasti. Played in Ireland many years, club cricket. Close enough.
Getting ready for some waspish me and pace now from Baz Deleda. No ill effects for Fakhar Zaman, running that down to 3rd man.
You just leave the jokes to me, Mergus.
Yes, I'll let it go through to the keeper. Keeper on my right-hand side. Mixing it up nicely, isn't he, Bas de Leyde here?
Yeah, showing why he's had a good T20 career to date. You know, he can get up around that 85, 86, 87 mile an hour mark, but then he's got good change-ups. Disguised it nicely. Fast is already just under the 85. That's good clicks. Dropping right down to 68. And he's got a good bumper as well, Brian. That's one thing you know about Bas de Leyde. He's not just going to run up and bowl a line of length. He's got a good bumper, he's got change-ups, he's got a good Yorker. I think we're going to see over the next couple of years the emergence of a really good all-rounder for the Netherlands.
Yeah, unbelievable form in that T20 World Cup qualifier in Zimbabwe. 170 runs at 56 and a strike rate of 126. And bowling, 9 wickets, economy rate 5.4. End of the over, 17 gone, 63 for 1.
This is the momsticle course. You gotta be quick, have your hands free. And always remember piano lessons. We're late. Oliver! So you need shoes smart enough to keep up. Physics are the truly hands-free shoe that can handle anything mothering throws at you. Where did you get that chainsaw? Amazon? It's time to upgrade to the original hands-free smart shoe. Free shipping, free returns, free the whales, free Britney. You get the point. Get your own physics today.
Well, it's construction time again here in Rotterdam. New highway being built outside the OC ground. All change outside the stadium. There's Shiriz Ahmed, who we saw make his debut against the West Indies in June. Got Carmeyers out in his first over. Bowled very well as well in the T20 World Cup qualifier. Musa Nadeem Ahmed, his brother with him there on 12th man duty. Tim Pringle. Change of ends for him, now operating from the pavilion end.
I tell you, if I was the older brother of Musa Ahmed, I would have been getting the youngster to do the drinks. Pringle back into the side, left arm orthodox. Next side defeats Scotty Edwards. Get through for a couple of wides. Good crowd forming here in Rotterdam. Lovely day, hot and a little bit humid. Ground looks at a real picture. Great opportunity again for Netherlands to test themselves against one of the powerhouses of the world.
I need to bring you one through the gate. Oh, I like it, Pring.
It's an interesting approach this by Pakistan, isn't it? It's, as Pierce was mentioning earlier, quite old school in the way they go about things. Wickets in hand towards the back end.
Oh, Pringy, give 6
Is there merit in this approach in the modern game?
Well, certainly there is, but they did it against Australia and got themselves into a bit of trouble, but got themselves out of trouble and won that series.
I love it, Pring.
Clubbed away. It's a dangerous game. The way the game is going, 50 over cricket now, you think of England with the likes of Roy, Salt, Butler, Bairstow, Livingston, etc. Setting the trend, especially when you get on good surfaces, flat surfaces, against quality opposition. Last 18 months, top 3 for Pakistan have batted so much. They've scored the bulk of the runs. And I just wonder, in the back of their mind, like Babar Azam, Fakhar Zaman, Imam Ul-Haq, do they feel that little extra bit of pressure that to score the runs, hence the slow start?
Oh, yeah.
Rotating the strike nicely. 18 done. 67 for 1.
very quiet start for Pakistan. And they exploded a little bit at the back end of the first power play with 3 boundaries and an over off Vivian Kingma. Since then, they've been content, by and large, just to knock the ball around. No boundaries, in fact, since that power play. Again, he's mixing his pace up here, Bas de Leede. There's plenty to like about him.
Yeah, confidence high. I might see him later on obviously use a cross seam ball as well, just to test out the surface. That's the off cutter. Bit of T20 exposure now in the off-season, World Cup on the horizon. Just keep adding to his armory, keep adding to his skill sets.
Slogged high down towards third man. Viv Kingma. Oh, he's dropped it. He had it. Then he lost it, then he had it again, and he lost it once and for all. Oh, and he's so crestfallen. But they've got to take these chances, the Dutch. They've built up the pressure.
Awful. Really, really poor miss. Bas de Leede does everything right. Viv Kingma never looked comfortable. He came in, I looked outside the commentary box, it looked like he got himself in an awkward position. He had 2 or 3 goes with it. Well, that's a shocker, I'm afraid. Just when Netherlands were getting on top. Vakker's man just feeling a little bit of pressure. Wanted the boundary. You mentioned, Brian, no boundary since the power play. Something had to give. Vakker's man gave Viv Kingma a golden opportunity. That's a really, really poor miss. Not for the first time Netherlands this summer letting themselves down in the field.
They want the ground to open up and swallow him. Past the outside edge from de Leede. He's creating things. So far, the opportunity they created in this over wasn't taken. That just did a little bit off the seam, that one. Good carry as well. Look at that, Scott Edwards taking that with both feet off the ground. 84 miles an hour, that delivery.
Well, Viv Kingma then a third. Gets himself 10 yards off the rope and backtracking. That's one of the key mistakes. He's backtracking. That's a really, really big let off.
End of the over. What should have been a successful over for the Netherlands isn't. Pakistan then 19 gone, 70 for 1.
You want one? Yeah, just when you were. Yeah, Steve, come on. There you go.
Well, Pakistan will certainly be hoping for more than 184. They'll be looking at that top end of projected scores, you would imagine. 8 and over from here gets them to 318.
Play boys. Lovely free.
Well, you would think 300 is bare minimum for Pakistan here today. Run a ball, get them 255. They'll be aiming a lot higher. 8 and over, get them 316. I think that's somewhere in their wheelhouse, something around that 310, 325 mark. Last 15 overs, you've got wickets in hand here. Good surface, you really cash in. Ball's out deep in the crease. Tim Pringle. Good variation. You see Mark Watt from Scotland do this often. This is excellent. When you're not a big turner of the ball, Got to use every little advantage you have. That's good from Pringle.
Lovely, Pring.
That one skidded through. Babar Azam just down on it at the last second.
Well, this is good from Pringle. Mixing it up.
Love it, Pring.
Nearly sneaking through the defences of Babar Azam. Not far away here in the Netherlands. Babar Azam hasn't been as fluent today as we normally see him. Just 19 from 42. We've seen him chip a couple in the air, mistime a couple off the seamers. Very rarely see him mistime a ball, but today just hasn't quite got going yet. And that's the key for Pakistan and the Netherlands. Yet, because once he gets in, he normally cashes in.
You like lovely boy.
Fakash Zaman will keep the struck. 20 gone, 73 for 1.
Nothing's gonna tell me to stop. Push me through the fire.
Shaheen Shah Afridi, a bit part player in this series. That's the way he's expected to be anyway, as he recovers from injury, an injury he picked up on the test tour of Sri Lanka. Babar Azam, in the lead up to this series, nailed his colours to the mast when he said he wanted Afridi fit and firing for the Asia Cup 2020 in the UAE. So he's still in rehab mode at the moment, is Shaheen Shah Afridi. And Aryan Dutt now coming back into the attack from the airport end. A really impressive spell from him. First up, opened the bowling. Now operating outside the power play.
Big.
A few people wandering right behind the bowler's arm at the moment, which is the delay.
Down, daddy boy.
They're appealing for a catch. Not out, says Rizwan Akram. I suspect a little bit of bluff involved there to try and avoid that being wided. Must have just flicked the pad though, because it wasn't signalled as a wide. Piers Fletcher alongside him once again. Good afternoon to you, Piers.
Nice to be back in the commentary box with you, Brian.
Lovely, daddy boy.
Good to see Dutt back into the attack. Hold very well on the power play. Let's have another look at this one.
On it. Lovely. Stay warm, big.
It's good bowling from Aryan Dutt.
Right dots on him here.
Let's have a look at ultra edge here to see whether there was a little outside edge. There wasn't. Yeah, the ball just flicking the pad.
Lovely boy.
Terrific decision then by Rizwan Akram. A, to say not out, and B, not to give the wide.
On it again. Sensational.
Really has been impressive, Aryan Dutt here. Bear in mind he's only relatively recently started bowling off spin. Started as a youngster, bowling seam up, and in fact in his one-day international debut on this ground. Bowled a mixture of seam and spin. That was against Scotland last year. End of the over, 21 gone, 74 for 1. Bandage. In the air, over the keeper, and one bounce for 4. Well, 50 for Fakhar Zaman. Not in the most orthodox way, but still mighty effective. The crowd love it. 51 in 66 balls.
Got that reprieve on 43, didn't he, Brian? He's made him count. He's got to 50. Again, he'll be looking to make that. He'll be looking to at least pull that up. Come the second half of this innings. Showing a lot of restraint early on.
It's all happened for Fakhar Zaman today. He's been dropped at third man, stung by a wasp, and now a half century.
68 balls for that 50. Very nicely batted. Those 6 fours. He was reserved at the start. He was 9 off 20 balls in the 7th over. He's just kicked on and
oh, well done, Vikramjit Singh. I think he's kept that from the boundary. If he has, that's a fantastic bit of work. And good follow-up as well from Aryan Dutt.
Vikram Singh, very improved fielder. Let's have a look. Slow it down. Let's have a gander. Did he get there? Yeah, comfortably had let the ball go. Aryan Dutt there in support. Again, a big focus for the Dutch team is that fielding. We've seen a couple of little messy mistakes so far.
Most important of all, dropping Fakhar. Two is the call from Babar Azam. He wants the second. Aggressively comes back for it. Tim Pringle, good work from him. A deep backward square leg, but he couldn't prevent those 2 runs. And all of a sudden, just that little bit of urgency about Pakistan now. They're pushing the tempo a bit.
Yeah, the Pakistan, these supporters in the crowd are definitely boosting them as well. There's just a feel in the air that there's just something brewing. I've seen that little middle period just be quite quiet, but now we're just starting to see them flourish. Van Beek been a little bit offline in this over, bit short and wide, bit straight now. Got to get back online.
Crunch down the ground for 4. So before that boundary earlier in the over from Fakhar Zaman to reach 50, it had been 68 deliveries without a boundary, and now 2 in this over.
Van Beek's been short and then been straight, and now he's overpitched. Babar Azam's taking full toll of that. Beautiful shot, full face of the bat. Again, this pitch hasn't been easy to bat on in times. It's been a little too pace, but beautiful shot to finish there.
And that could be 4 more. Aryan Dutt does his best, flicks it back. That'll be another look for Nitin Bhati, the third umpire. I think that will be checked. Just going to have a look to see whether that's gone for 4. Arian Dutt flying round the boundary. That's great work again. So that's 2 really good bits of fielding down there on the backward point boundary. Keeps them down to just 3, but an expensive over nonetheless. 16 runs from it. Pakistan 90 for 1. Most expensive over of the innings thus far, just bowled from Logan van Beek. And now Pakistan moving above 4 runs and over for the first time.
Lovely, Daddy.
Pak Vs looking very comfortable now, just taking his time to get his pace and get the pace of the wicket, but it seems to start feeling very comfortable now out in the middle.
It's going to be 4 more. All of a sudden the run's flowing.
The Dutch just a little bit ragged in these last couple of overs. A little bit short and wide, a little bit straight. And now Dutt, excellent in his first spell. Goes offline, 2 straight. Kingma, no chance there at 45. Deep square leg, not a chance as well. This outfield just starting to quicken up this afternoon. Another 4 to the Pakistan side.
Pringle, deep point.
Daddy. Here we go, Daddy. Here we go, boy.
Arian Dutt now operating to his favoured left-hander round the wicket. Nidamanuru at 45 on the leg side.
Daddy boy.
Short again from Arian Dutt, and he's punished. That's gone for 4, and that brings up the Pakistan 100. All of a sudden, they really have found some momentum.
Pakistan supporters very much appreciative of that boundary. 45 in the ring. Deep square leg was moved around after that previous boundary off the bowling of Dutt. Now behind square. Pak Vs placed that perfectly through mid-wicket. Second 50 coming off just 56 deliveries.
Lovely finish.
27 runs off the last 2 overs. Babar Azam still unhappy, though, that he didn't take advantage of that last delivery. Pakistan 23 gone, 100 for 1.
Lovely finish.
Here's Babar's frustration. Like all good players, he's never satisfied. 27 runs off the last 2 overs, and Pakistan now moving into overdrive. Early shot from Pak Zaman. Lots of bottom hand, but he comes back for 2. It's been a mixed bag from him for his 50.
Yeah, Pak Zaman got a little bit of luck early, sort of saw off the pace of the bowling, and then anything with width, he started to throw his hands through. Looked very, very good. Again, there's that little bits of luck. Strong 50, Pak Zaman. He'll be looking to bake a cake, double this score.
Kingma at third man. Every run that Pak Zaman scores will be like a dagger in his heart, having dropped the left-hander on 43.
Yeah. Disappointing. Missed that by Kingma. He's worked very, very hard on his fielding. He prides himself on having worked so hard to field in those pockets of the ground behind square. Fine leg, third man.
That's really good cricket as well. Wesley Baresi at mid-off. Shouldn't really have been a single there, but the batsman showed intent and managed to get through very comfortably in the end.
The ability to hit and run is a skill. The ability to judge a run is a skill. Very well judged by Pak Zaman there. Quite straight through, apologies, left-hander, isn't he? A lot through that offside. He's very, very strong. Any width he gets, he's going to absolutely make you pay.
Beautiful use of the pace there by Babar Azam, and comes back for 2. Again, aggressive running. Just the whole tempo of this innings has changed in the last 2 or 3 overs. There's real urgency from these 2 batsmen now, and they're putting this Dutch side under real pressure.
Yeah, Pakistan have noticed something, I feel. The Dutch are just a little bit gun-shy at the moment. They're just to be sitting back. And we're just seeing that running between the wickets. They can just tell that the Dutch are on edge a little. They're going to push even out of this. They know they're behind the game a little in terms of the runs on the board. If they can push them in terms of their running between the wickets, that 320 mark is still very, very attainable.
Seven runs off that over from Logan van Beek. Pakistan 107 for 1. Five bowlers used by the Dutch so far. Kingma, the only successful bowler, getting rid of Imam ul Haq. Fazdaleda, 5th of those bowlers used. He's about to come back after a very impressive opening spell of 3 overs for 9 from the airport end, replacing Aryan Dutt, whose last 2 overs cost 11. Well fielded by Tom Cooper at mid-on. 5 bowlers used then. What are the other options for the Netherlands, Piers?
That man on screen, Tom Cooper, definitely one of them. Another one, though might sound a little bit absurd, is Wes Baresi. Has bowled in international cricket. There he is on screen. Back out of retirement for these games.
It's incredible, really, isn't it, when you think that last time Wesley Baresi was in the side, he was keeping wicket. He was then replaced by Scott Edwards and played as a specialist batsman, but the majority of his career he spent behind the stumps, and now he's reinvented himself.
Yeah, started bowling a little bit off spin for the national team in T20s to sort of burn and over at the start of the game when Michael Swart retired. So Wesley Bracey became that man to sort of burn the over. There he is, Chris Pringle. He's come all the way across the watcher's sun. He's been here for the New Zealand T20s and he's stayed on for the Pakistan games. Nice to see him in the crowd.
Wide ball.
Wide. And again, Barber just a little bit frustrated. He didn't take advantage of that ball down the leg side. Here's Tim Pringle.
Yeah, Tim Pringle. He's signed on for the Northern Knights back in New Zealand. His first ever domestic contract over there. So he'll be heading back. And there's the old man who's played for New Zealand.
2 is the call from Babar Azam. He'll only get 1. Yes, Chris Pringle, 14 tests, 64 one-day internationals for New Zealand. And that's the 100 partnership with that single. And it's a partnership that's become increasingly assured and increasingly worrying from a Dutch perspective. Pulled out towards deep backward square leg, and the gap is found. Perfectly bisects Rian Dutt and Tim Pringle. Short from Deleda, and Fakhar Zaman takes advantage.
Long way outside off stump. Clears that front leg out of the way and just a nice swing of the bat. Not high enough for Deleda. Needs to get that ball high to get that shot out of control. In the slot, 4 runs.
7th boundary for Fakhar Zaman. Little pick up now from him in the same area, and it's the same result. Successive boundaries for Fakhar Zaman, and he really is looking dangerous now. He's almost up to a runner ball.
2 full, 2 straight this time. We'll see it on the replay. Cross seam, in at the pads. Again, very, very stable, but a free swing of the bat. And again, bisects that gap absolutely perfectly once more, Brian.
That's what good players do. They don't hit the fielders, they hit the gaps. As Deleda wanting a change in the field, and in fact, rather than moving deep backward square leg finer, he's moved him square out to deep mid wicket. Drops short again. Rian Dutt racing in, keeps them down to a single. So at the halfway stage of the innings, Pakistan looking good. They're 119 for 1.
Do you hear that beautiful sound? That is the sound of the world's simplest back pain relief. The Jerk Wheel Plus massages muscles along the spine, relieving all your tension, back pain, soreness, stress, and everything in between. You might even feel a few pops. Get yours at GoChirp.com.
Well, only a handful of overs ago, Pakistan's soaring rate meant that if they'd continued along the same path, they'd have been around 180. If they're scoring at the same rate they are now, they'll reach 238. This is looking danger as far as the Dutch are concerned.
Yeah, it's as if Pakistan had the handbrake on for those first 16, 17 overs or so, but since that drinks break, there's definitely been a change in intent and definitely looking to take advantage of anything slightly offline or off length. Zaman, ominous, 68. So too Babar Azam. You can see Pringle from the pavilion end.
With his dad in the background. Just need to find some control from somewhere. The Dutch, the best way to do that always is to take wickets. But Fakhar Zaman's response is the slog sweep for 4. I think it just pitched inside the rope. Michael Goff's going to check, and he's happy that it is indeed a boundary 4.
Talked about it being ominous. Pringle back in attack, called into the attack by Captain Edwards. He is the man that they sort of look to gain that control. Generally bowls quite a tight line. He's going to have to tighten up again.
Down the wicket and clobbered towards long on. It's interesting that Pringle's actually operating over the wicket to the left-hander. I've seen left-arm spinners in this sort of situation in the past maybe go round the wicket and just try and cramp the batsman for room, not give them room to swing their arms.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that occur when Fakazzaman comes back on strike. Change in the field now. I see Baresi down here at long on for the right-hander Babar Azam.
Babar's switched to a cap. But he hasn't altered the way he's playing. That's a boundary.
Stupendous ability to pick length here. Just drops off onto the back foot. A little bit wide outside of stump, and Babar Azam, he's happy with those every day of the week. Short, wide, cut for 4. Dad's not happy, is he? Look at him. Where should that line be?
Good work inside circle by Deleda.
Multi-talented cricketer Buster Lader. Always in those hot spots. We'll see him there at mid-wicket for the rest of the sinners, I would expect.
Pulled away. A lot of work for Baresi at long on, and he misfields. It's gone for 4. 13 runs off the over, and Pakistan are flying. They're 132 for 1. 50 for Babar Azam from just 58 balls. And goodness me, they really have come in a hurry, those runs.
Change of bowler, right arm over.